Hi there, welcome back to Elevate with Lori. My name is Lori. On today's video, I want to tell a story of something that happened about a few weeks back now, 4 weeks back. Before I get into the story though, I need to go back even further than that into my childhood because that's when the story actually began. So let me explain. I'm not sure exactly how old I was, but I had an aunt that had a farm in Saskatchewan, and she had horses. And I've always loved animals. I've always loved horses, especially horses and dogs. And it made me think like, oh, when I get older, like I so want to have horses. I want to have an acreage. I want to have horses. And so it got me thinking, when you're a child, you often daydream. So I guess that's what I'll call it. I would daydream about the kind of horse I would want. Horses, but there was one in particular I kept thinking about, and it was a black horse. I knew that maybe it was because of the childhood stories, Black Beauty. I used to love those books and the movie and everything. And so I always knew that I wanted a black horse. And so I used to think about having a black horse, what it would feel like to have a black horse. But it wasn't just any black horse. The black horse that I wanted to have a perfectly white heart in the forehead. And I would think about this horse. I would daydream about this horse. I would daydream about riding the horse, brushing the horse, walking with the horse, just being with the horse. And I would do it quite often. And then, I don't know what happened. Just, you get older, you forget about things. I don't know exactly, but it's so strange how like so many years can go by and it triggers a memory. And so, with this horse, dream of a horse long forgotten, got older, whatever. Skip ahead to just a few weeks ago. And I was out in the country driving with my partner, and we come across these three horses. And it's not the first time I've come across these horses. I see these three horses every time we drive out that way. There's a brown one, a black one, and I guess you could say a blonde one. And they're such beautiful horses. And whenever we go that way, they're usually eating, or like off a little bit further, you can see them. But anytime when we can see them up close, there's this, their feet is there. And so they're eating. And so their heads are down. Not occasionally, but usually I'll talk to them, right? Whenever I come across horses, cows, deer, you name it, I'm talking to them. We'll stop the vehicle, I'll roll down the window, and I start talking to them. I ask them how they are and call them beautiful. And, some might think it's a little weird, but that's just what I do. So anyway, I've never really seen this black one up close, like head on, right? I might get the odd attention where they'll look over at me or whatnot. But on this occasion, all three of them started to come towards, as far as they could, towards the fence, right? And we were in the truck. And the black one and the brown one came forward a little bit closer than the blonde one. And I looked at it and I was like, is that a heart? Is that a white heart on his head, like on his forehead? And my partner looks, he goes, yeah, I think that is. So I took a picture. I took some pictures of them, all of them, but the black one, and I zoomed in, and sure enough, if there isn't a white heart on his forehead. And so I'm like, wow, like it brought me back, like tumbling back years later to when I was a kid. And I had totally forgot about this black horse with a heart until that very moment. And I said to my partner, like, oh my God, like, I cannot believe it. That seeing a horse with a heart on his forehead, that's pretty rare. And so he knew, obviously that was why I was excited until I told him the story about how when I was younger, I used to visualize this black horse with a white heart. And he was like, no way. Like, it was just so, I can't even describe the feeling that came through me that day. It was just like, wow. I used to like visualize, well, I guess what we would call visualize now, this black horse. I was manifesting before I even knew what manifesting even was. And then, I guess I forgot about it because just reality came in, like, oh, like what's the likelihood you're gonna get a horse with a black horse with a white heart? Like, all the doubts and stuff start to come in as usual when we are manifesting things. Sometimes that happens, right? So if it's something that's too big or doesn't seem like realistic to our programmed minds. So, and I just forgot about it. I don't know if I shared it with someone and maybe they told me it was silly, or I just stopped on my own. I honestly cannot remember. But it just amazes me how, well, a couple things. How when we're young, we just naturally know how to do things. Ancient things, right? Like they could be going back to past lifetimes when we just knew what to do. We knew how to heal ourselves. We knew, all this stuff. And so that in itself was pretty amazing to me. But just like how it just quickly triggered that memory, like that was long forgotten, totally forgot about it. And now, while this horse is not mine, I mean, not yet, right? But it just made me think, like, how often do we do that? Do we want something? We fantasize, visualize, daydream, whatever you want to call it, and then our waking minds get in there and go, that couldn't happen. Like, who are you to have that? Or that just couldn't happen. Our reality that we live in just says that type of thing can't happen, and so we forget about it. And like dreams and things, like the big vision of things. And I'm like a lot of people, I do have a big vision of something, which I won't share right now, but it just, and so many times I thought, well, that probably is not going to happen, right? And so it got me just to thinking about that, like how I forgot about it. Now, like I said, the horse is not mine, but it was like, what's the word? It was to show me, like, all is possible, right? Because lately I've been feeling a little, up and down and back and forth about some certain manifestations. And it just that was Spirit's way of going, look, this can happen. Remember this long ago dream you had, this visualization you used to do? And I don't know, it just really gave me what I needed that day to be like, yeah, my dreams can come true. And I mean, if I really want to keep focusing on this horse, I could one day have maybe even that horse, but a horse with a white heart anyways, right? And so it just really got me back on the right path of forward thinking, of future thinking, like all is possible. And so I just wanted to share what happened. I have shared it on my other social media, but it was just it's so amazing to me, and it just gave me the little bit of boost that I was needing that week when so many doubts were coming in. So I just wanted to share that. So I am going to, on this video, I will show a picture of the horse, of course. He or she is so beautiful. They're all beautiful. And so I'll show some pictures of my time in the country with these beautiful creatures. I go there so often, and I just love interacting with them and taking pictures of them. And if I ever go in those areas and see people around them, I would love to go and actually meet these horses and talk with them and pet them. So I'm hoping next time, I'm putting it out there, that next time the owner will be around, and I'll ask if I can meet these beautiful creatures. So anyways, I just wanted to share my story with you. All my stories are real life. And I just like to share them with you in hopes that maybe it will inspire you to not give up on your dream. So, if that at all helped you, or you like my content, give me a like, a share, subscribe to my channel, leave any comments that you want in the comment section. Keep them nice. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to share on this video. And so in the meantime, and just keep your dreams alive. That's the best advice I can give you, is just anything is possible if you put your mind to it and stay focused on the positive, and just know, like, even if it takes years to happen, manifestation isn't always, immediate, right? Sometimes things take years, and sometimes you totally forget about a dream you had, and then poof, there it is, right? So yeah, I just hope it inspires you. That's just what I wanted to share it for. So I hope that you got some sort of inspiration from this video. And in the meantime, take good care of yourselves. Stay connected. Bye for now.